I'm McGruff the Crime Dog, and this is LPD's Kids Patrol. Hey there, everyone! This is Officer Don Nuts for this month's LPD's Kids Patrol. And joining me this month is DNR Officer Adam Block. How you doing today, Officer Block?
The sun is shining. I'm doing very well, thanks. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great, but I think I smell peanut butter. Must be me sweating. It's kind of a lame joke, wasn't it, Adam?
Not bad.
Not bad. Well, hey, Adam, we're out here to talk today about what kids can do and stay safe while they're around the water. But first, I want to ask you, what is a DNR officer, Adam?
That's a very good question. We get that often asked to us. What DNR Conservation Officer is, we are the outdoor police. So we're going to be out there 365 days a year monitoring things that are happening in our great outdoors in this state.
Oh, very good. Now, one thing that always concerns me is when kids are around water, especially on boats. Now, there is a state law that they are required to wear life preservers, correct, when they're out on the water?
That is correct. Children less than 10 years old while on the water in a boat that is underway, meaning moving, being powered by a motor, have to have their life jackets on.
Oh, very good. And the reason we do that is because we want them to be safe, because a lot of kids don't know how to swim, right?
That is correct. We have to make sure that not everybody in our boat necessarily does know how to swim, and obviously the shore from where we are in our boat can be a far away distance sometimes.
Very good. Now, we're talking about boats, but what about canoes? Now, sometimes kids will go out without their parents on like canoes or, you know, plastic rafts. Is there any special thing we need to know about that?
We'd like to remind folks that when they are in a canoe, we're talking a smaller watercraft that can be very tippy, especially like today. It's very windy out here today. If you're out in a canoe and you're moving around in the boat a lot, we want to remind children and parents to keep a low center of gravity so they don't have the possibility of tipping that canoe over.
Ah, very good advice. Now, especially this year, Adam, the temperatures have been very cold, and the water, when we're filming today, is still really cold. Is there any particular dangers or any message we need to send to parents and kids about the temperature of the water this year?
Most certainly we do, this year especially. But we want to remind people when they are out on the water temperature can be very cold regardless of what the air temperature is out. So for this season, the water temperature is very cold. If you were to end up in the water this time of year, that cold water takes your strength away from you and can make it very difficult for you to swim.
Ah, very good. You know, I never went out and swum before. I think I'd sink.
Well, if you do go in the water, then I would encourage you to have a life jacket on if you've never swam before.
Oh, absolutely. I got this little German Shepherd dog life preserver that I use when I go out, so in case I can't get out, they can grab me by the handle.
Well, we'd like to remind people that your life jackets, in order to be legal, have to be Coast Guard approved and make sure they're in serviceable condition. So if they have buckles or zippers, that they are in working order and there's not holes in them. We don't want to see folks out there on the lake using things that you would normally find maybe in a pool. A floaty that goes around your arm filled with air or something like that. We got to have something a little bit better than that.
How about a noodle?
No, not a noodle. Those are not Coast Guard approved. They are fun to play with in the water, but they're not going to probably save your life.
Well, great. Well, thanks for telling us the difference between what you can use in the lake and in your pool.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, Adam, I want to thank you so much for your time today. And is there any last thing that you'd like to say to kids and adults about being out in the water this summer?
Well, we hope that the weather continues to warm up, as it is doing, and that we see a lot of people out on the water. We will be out there, the Sheriff's Department is out there, and we just like to remind people that law enforcement is out on the water. However, lifeguards, like in a pool, aren't necessarily going to be there. If you're on a beach, maybe you might see a lifeguard, but generally speaking, on public waters, you're not going to see those. You're going to see law enforcement. So hopefully we have a safe and enjoyable summer.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, Adam. And my last question is, have you ever been interviewed by a nut before?
Honestly, I can say no, I have never been interviewed by a nut. But thanks for having me.
Oh, you did. You bet. You did a great job, Adam. Hey, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time, everybody, on LPD's Kids Patrol. Hey!